He's very, very happy down here. Don't worry about that. That's just about the complete performance tonight.
It was, we obviously built the game up. It was super critical for us to start the game well. We felt like that would help us, obviously, release a bit of the pressure, but clearly it was sort of a four-quarter performance, which we've been looking for, and we did feel like we defended the ground a bit better. Keeping them to 44 is pretty handy.
Started in the middle of the ground. Obviously, that's where the major battle was. All talk all week around that midfield battle. You took control in the clearances. Timmy English's game tonight was outstanding, but at ground level yourself, Libert, Ed, kept getting it done.
Yeah, we did. It's a challenge every single week. You're probably starting to see some new faces come through there. Riley Garcia, even the way he was finishing off the game, that's great stuff to see. They're all the good habits you really want to see all the way throughout the game. But it definitely is one of our strengths. We've got to keep being really strong in that department. Obviously helps us defensively if we're able to limit as many inside 50s as possible. But as like last week, when you can kick into some targets like Darcy and Nordy, and then the other smaller guys popping up, it's really, really balanced up there.
I think what will please you in some ways when you look back as skipper is what Poulter did today and what Lockie McNeil did, and then the Oscar Baker last quarter tackle, the gang tackle in the middle of the ground to play the game right out from the youngsters. Yeah,
that play especially just over our shoulders here, that's in the last sort of minute or two of the game. That intent is still there to really finish it off strongly, and they're the habits in a long season, which sometimes you're asking to draw more and more, and it's starting to get to the pointy end of things. Reality is we've got to keep winning to get where we want to go, so it's sort of just, you've got to keep working back from one, I reckon. Now, next week we've got to go again, but nice to have a bit of a longer break, reset and refresh and build up for that one.
Well, you had the music pumping pre-game. I'm sure you'll crank it up after this.
Yeah, it's the only way. You know what it's like. You got to enjoy that sort of 5-10 minutes post-game, because pretty quickly you're off into recovering and focusing on the build-up for the next one. So, you take a little bit of that and try and use it to build up your week, but we'll enjoy it for sure.
Well done on a great performance.
Thanks, Jono. Ta.
Teammates in the AFL era to both kick 5+ goals in back-to-back games. 91, Darren Bennett and Darren Cuthbertson. 92, Gary Ablett Sr. and Paul Brown. 98, Neitz and Farmer. 2008, Bradshaw and Brown. And now 2025, Norton and Sam Darcy.
So it's taken 17 years.
17 years since two teammates have kicked 5+ back-to-back.
Bradshaw and Brown. I'm not sure about the other ones. I know Gary Ablett as well, so obviously a long time, but they are an absolute threat and a point of difference for the Dogs coming into finals if they are to make it. And if you take a look at the live ladder there today, well, GWS were at 118% coming into today, and you might think 7%, like they've just dropped down. They've dropped down below Fremantle now, which is critical to what their finals chances do look like.
Yeah, and I think it's more than that. I think the Dogs youngsters have made a really powerful statement. It's the best game I've seen Caleb Poulter play. Oscar Baker did some seriously important things early. O'Donnell looks steady behind the ball. These are all guys that have played less than 50 games, and Sanders is getting better every week. We talk enough about Frazier. And Buslinger, whilst he had his moments tonight that he's going to get better from, I just think it's important he gets games. Get games into these guys. He's only had 3 opportunities prior to tonight. So it's the all-round performance. We know what we're going to get from Libber and Bont, Kennedy and Dale. They just need their bottom 6 to get 10% better in the last month of football to give them an opportunity to challenge.
And that'll be the question that we ask ourselves, is what are the Dogs capable of when September does roll around? It is a long time ago, 2016, where they were able to put nearly the perfect month of football together, coming from outside the top 4, where predominantly you need to be in the 4 to win the flag. So they've just got a unique style. They've got a unique talent pool that is, they've got stars over 2 lines, certainly the midfield and the forward line. If they get enough, inside 50s and chances, they can beat anyone.
You tell me you're not across the work of Darren Bennett.
Well, I know he's a punter now.
Well, he's not now, but he played for San Diego and Minnesota after playing for the Demons.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, Jack.
Sorry.
Jack doesn't rate any record that he's not part of. That's is the bottom line. There's the run home. So this is going to build to the absolute crescendo on the last day of the season. Round 24. Well, of course, we've got round 25 this year with Essendon and the Gold Coast, but that's going to be some sort of game. Here at Marvel, Dogs fans, they'll fill the joint to try and get their beloved Western Bulldogs over the line. They've got this performance in them. That's the scare for the competition. Can they do it 4 weeks in a row, 5 weeks in a row? Probably not. But you you just know what they're capable of. It's always a worry. You never feel comfortable when you put those magnets on the board next to the Western Bulldogs names.
Flip side of the equation, we saw Jesse Hogan off the ground. Hopefully no injury concern. That'll no doubt be talked about in the wash-up. They take on North. The Suns away and St Kilda North and St Kilda at home. But, by gee, they came down here tonight. Probably with tomorrow night. Well, there's tomorrow night, and then there's obviously Brisbane and Collingwood, but one of the 3 games of the round, and unfortunately they didn't show anything tonight.
Yeah, demoralising. And it begs the question is, can you be a real player in September if they are to make it to September, coming off an 88-point loss like that? And I would say no after a performance like that. That's soul-destroying from what they served up tonight.
Oh, it's just not unconditional. That's the problem. Their best is more than good enough. It's probably almost the best in the competition when they're in full flight, but the coach has to do much with them to get them to that point. So they've got their work to do. There's still a massive opportunity in front of them, but this footy we saw tonight across, that first 60 minutes was brilliant from the Dogs.
And that man there, number 10, who has had a dominant win against, as you said, the best backman in the competition, Piggy. I mean, how good could this young man be?
Yeah, it's a story, isn't it? I mean, if Tom DeCarning's worth 1.7, I'd hate to think of a figure for this guy.
3 million.
Okay, well, there you go. You've thought of one.
Into the rooms, the Dogs' 12th win of the season.
Stars of the West, woo! Red, white and blue, woo! We'll come out sailing. Bulldogs through and through, what a see. Bulldogs fight and Bulldogs rock. We give our very best. But you can't be the boys of the Bulldog creep with the team of the mighty West. Woo!
This is Thursday Night Footy on Fox, brought to you by the Ford Everest. Conquer the weekend. We just had to move away, Jason Dunson and Lee Montagna, because we were virtually in the Doggies huddle there for the song. It was a brilliant win, an extraordinary performance, and they have really kick-started their finals contention.
It's as close as we've come to singing a team song, shall we? It was quite interesting, but this is a super impressive performance from the Dogs. They were absolutely amazing in every facet, every aspect of the game. They excelled in tonight, and I don't think they could be happier. Luke Beveridge couldn't be more pleased with that effort.
Yeah, spot on. It was as complete as you'd see from the inside. Their clearance work, their contest, which we'll get to, and their offensive firepower was just on full display. And it goes to show what they do have offensively. And maybe this is the way that if they are going to play finals and be a threat, it's not going to be necessarily trying to get that defence up to be a top team. It might just be off the back of offence.
Right from the opening minute of the game, they really set the tone. Their work rate was awesome. Every facet, really, statistically, they were on top. Territory, contest, it all just reads so well.
Yeah, they were so clean, weren't they? Everything, their handball game, their kicking going inside 50, the way they were moving as a group. Really, as I said, it was an exhibition the first half, really, with the way you want to play your offence. And I thought it was sensational footy. And then the big forwards were able to cash in,
mate.
Forwards were able to cash in on the work of the midfielders up the field with the way they were moving the footy.
Sam Darcy, welcome to Thursday Night Footy on Fox. A brilliant effort by yourself and the entire team. Were you surprised by the margin tonight? That was a huge win.
It was, yeah. They're a quality side, and we needed a good win tonight. So yeah, super proud of the effort.
Tell us about the battle personally. You take on one of, if not the best defender in the game in Sam Taylor. It was a fascinating duel. The pressure was on him. He gave away free kicks early, and then you just started to grab everything. You got some really good service from upfield, but you must be thrilled with the way that battle panned out.
Yeah, he's a really good player. I found it challenging at times. He's just grabs onto you and pretty physical. So yeah, it was good to come up against him. And yeah, like you said, we got some good opportunities coming forward. So yeah, lucky to get the end of a few.
So what are some of the things you're doing personally as a forward? Because the defenders are all having to scrag. They're having to grab. They're having to put you off your centre of balance, all those sorts of things, because you're marking the ball at a position they can't get to. How are you dealing with all of that?
Yeah, I think I just try and make them as uncomfortable as possible the whole time, whether that's, moving in the phone box the whole time, try and they want to work me under the ball as much as possible. So try and get a low centre of gravity, try and turn side on to limit that as much as possible, and just me timing and craft, try and get that right as much as possible. Had a few times he probably got the better of me tonight, but keep working through that.
Mate, looking at the marks on the net, they tried to strangle you, did they?
He must have long nails. Heard that.
But it must be nice as well with Aaron Norton, the form he's in, to have the two of you working together. How much time do you spend during the week working on your craft together and the patterns and those sorts of things? Take us a bit behind the scenes.
Yeah, we do plenty of work together. Off the track and at the end of trainings. Working on our craft, trying get out of each other's way. The forward coach Matt Spang is really good about different leading patterns and stuff we can do, and love playing with him. He's on fire at the moment.
How much competition between the two of you in terms of who's kicking the goal? You should have beaten him tonight.
Yeah, no, we don't say much. I'm sure deep down we look. Sarah gets to have a better night, but he's on fire. Yeah.
Given the injury you had earlier in the season with the knee and the fright I'm sure it gave you on the night, the fact that you've been able to get back so much quicker than everyone expected, does it mean you cherish these moments where you're back out there, finals approaching perhaps more than if you had have had a clean run at it?
Yeah, I think it does for sure. When you look back, I thought that night that our season was over. So, and it's an unbelievable fin after a win in the rooms with all the guys. So, it does make you look back on, great footage to be out here playing for sure.
Even the first goal you kicked tonight, you hyperextended your right leg as you were getting tackled as you kicked it. Yeah. Everything was okay? You didn't get a little tweak or anything?
In the first quarter, but then, ran it off, and I think it should be all sweet.
Oh, nice.
And the midfield, again, they were dominant, Bont and all the boys. It must be nice when you see them win the clearance, go from the inside to the outside, and you've got these left footers or Bailey Dale or whoever it is coming at you, your eyes must light up.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's a privilege to have those guys streaming out of the stoppage. Delivering the ball inside 50, so they're on fire. Like you said, Richo, Bont and Liver, they're some of the best in the competition at what they do, so it's unbelievable.
Been so much talk about not taking the big scalps. Took a big one tonight and took it in great fashion. The build-up was perfect. I'm assuming everything went according to plan?
I think it did, I think we had a bit of a history of the rivalry against the Giants, so we want to try and build it up, and the confrontational side of the game, we wanted to make sure we were on top in that aspect, and I think we brought that early and put on the back foot, and like you said, we need it. We've competed really against top 8 sides, but just haven't come over the top and have let ourselves down at different stages across the year. So, it was a really important win and gives us good momentum, hopefully, in the back end of the year.
Fantastic.
Sam, we are loving your performance so far this year. Well done on tonight. We'll let you go and clean the scratches up.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Well done, mate.
Well done, mate.
Well done. Killing him.